Inside camping and the high tripod seem to be the two hottest forms of guard passing that everyone wants to learn.
I'm here for the same reason you is, man. I want some crack.
And if you're new here to the channel, what we do is study a lot of jiu-jitsu. And after watching the match between Gordon Ryan and Josh Saunders, I think I might have found a little chink in the armor of the inside camper. But first, we're going to see what we can learn from the outside heel hook finish and Gordon Ryan's guard passing before discussing a potential way to counter inside camping. So let's dive in. From cross Ashi, a viable strategy is to pass the leg over to inside Ashi and finish with an outside heel hook.
Okay, this is what I do to everyone in trials, pretty much the same thing.
Now Gordon was able to enter cross Ashi early in the match and he tried this strategy. But when he passes the leg over to inside Ashi, he's struggling to get heel exposure even though he's on his inside hip. And because he's on that inside hip, it allows Josh to more easily pummel in his secondary leg and start to free himself from the position.
All right, he wants to come out here, start to now turn, start to pummel, and now we're just in a standard read, right? We don't really want that. So look what we're doing here. I'm kind of extending this. I'm going to come up this direction, and I'm going to go here.
So as we watch this finishing sequence here, you can see Gordon is again in cross Ashi, and again he passes the leg over to inside Ashi. But this time, before he even tries to dig for the heel, he prioritizes turning onto his outside hip, which makes it very hard for Josh to pummel in his secondary leg, and Gordon's able to get heel exposure and a strong outside heel hook finish.
By the way, don't try to finish it here. Okay, this is not a strong finish for it. I need to be on the low side and almost belly down. But see, I have a really strong break here. Like, I didn't even need to do anything. It's just a small motion.
Now, at the end of the day, there's a lot of different ways to finish a heel hook. And the way I went about organizing the data is I categorized them as either a backside, lateral, or rotational finish. Now, regardless of what type of orientation is used to finish the heel hook, we need our hips to remain side on to their knee. Or in other words, we need our hips laterally aligned to our opponent's knee.
To make the leg more twistable, I have to be at the lateral side of it. So when I'm lined up with the leg laterally, the twisting force, that's the fulcrum for the twisting force. If I'm not lined up with it laterally, we don't get the strong braking force that we want.
So by going to his outside hip from inside Ashi, Gordon makes it hard for Josh to pummel in his secondary leg, and it creates a situation where Gordon has lateral hip-knee alignment to a very high degree, which leads to a strong and controlled finish. Now let's talk about the inside camping. Josh was doing a great job of taking this underhook on the far side, but he did so while also keeping a low knee shield, which when you think about it, doesn't make a lot of sense.
It doesn't make any sense to come up to have an underhook when I have a knee shield, whether low or high. Because the knee shield is focused on pushing your partner away, and the underhook is focused on closing the distance between yourself and your partner. On one hand, the lower body you're looking to make space, and at the upper body you're looking to take away space.
So from here, Josh basically has to make a decision. Is he going to stick with the underhook and get rid of the knee shield? Or is he going to keep the knee shield and get rid of the underhook? Well, this time, Josh takes out his underhook and keeps his knee shield. And he's using that knee shield to push Gordon away. Or in other words, he's extending his leg.
Anytime this knee comes too far away from his chest, that's where our smash pass options come in.
Extended legs are easier to smash, and that's exactly what Gordon does as Josh was pushing away with his knee shield, which allows Gordon to clear that knee shield and settle into chest-to-chest half guard. Now this time when Josh gets his underhook on the far side, he keeps it and removes his knee shield, doubling down on that underhook. Now in this situation, our goal as the top player is to keep the bottom player flat on the mat. And as the top player, we'd like to have this far side underhook because it allows us to pin their far shoulder on the mat as we work to complete our guard pass.
And Mateus gets the underhook on me, I have very little ability to make his shoulder touch the mat. Okay, and if Mateus can turn into me and get onto his side, that's a real issue.
So the rule is for the top player, if you can't pin their far shoulder on the mat, then you try and pin their far hip on the mat. And this is exactly what Gordon does. As Josh shoots through his knee shield, it gives Gordon the space to drive his knee towards 3/4 mount. So Gordon's knee driving towards the far hip is what brings Josh's shoulder flat on the mat. And with Josh's back flat on the mat, it becomes much harder for him to win the pummeling battles.
And things change when he's flat. If I ask Fernando to keep me away when his body's flat, he's just benching pressing me. There's no body connection here. I just fall over him, and eventually I'm going to be able to get my connections.
And that's what gives Gordon the time to take that far underhook, which more directly controls that far shoulder, and allows Gordon to cut his knee back to the near side and complete his guard pass to side control. Now let's move on to the final section of this video and talk about this sequence from Josh, which I think may offer us some insights into how to counter this inside camping that Gordon Ryan has made so popular. But in order to lay the foundation to talk about it, we need to go back to my analysis of Levi's match against Mateus. Now, Levi is someone who likes to bait the bottom player to pummel in a butterfly hook so he can leg drag to the far side. But Mateus was doing a really good job of not pummeling in that butterfly hook and instead recovering with his inside leg. Now, Gordon's someone who doesn't like to force butterfly hooks, but instead likes to remove them. And now with that foot on the outside, the primary guard retention movement of the bottom player is going to be to recover with their inside leg. And here we see Gordon goes from monitoring that inside leg to a collar tie, which frees up Josh to try and recover with that inside leg. And obviously Gordon knows this and he's able to stuff the leg. And it seems like when Gordon goes to restuff the leg, he brings his trail leg closer. And this time, as Gordon denies Josh from recovering with the inside leg, Gordon is very sticky with this grip, and he's not letting Josh break it.
So I'm here and I try to make you break the grip. Now you activated your hand, so now you're keeping the grip. The second you activate your hand where I'm not breaking your grip, now I can start entering into your legs.
So Gordon being tense with this grip is what allows Josh to start to curl underneath him.
So we're going here, right? And then if they, yeah, it's already turning me.
And then on top of that, we know Gordon likes to hop this trail leg forward to stuff that inside leg, which gives Josh a good ability to make a solid connection to that leg and start to attack.
This leg versus this leg. I always like this too.
It's so much better.
I've got the heel hook as well.
Yes, and then,
like
the inside heel. Yes, and then you have it right there.
Now, is this going to work against Gordon? Probably not. But I thought it was a beautiful sequence by Josh and could provide some insights on how to counter the inside camping. And if you're interested in more, check the link down in the description to hop over to the Outlier Database, where the match between Gordon and Josh is now free on the homepage. And you can go through all of the notes I took throughout this match and click the note to follow along in the match as you study. You can also click here to watch the ending sequence, and you can even see a resource to help you better understand what happened in the match. Now again, all of this is free this week, so be sure to check the link in the description. And if you end up signing up, you'll gain the ability to dive deeper. So now we see the free resource from Dennis, but we also see resources from Josh and Greg, which should make your study experience very efficient. So again, the tool is called the Outlier Database. I'm throwing in my $97 instructional for free. You'll get access to the Discord as well as the first AI chatbot. And we're currently grandfathering in the early adopters of this product. So if you're interested in locking in the $20 a month rate, check the link down below and I'll also list how many grandfather rates are still available. Hope you all find this video and the database helpful. I'll talk to you in the Discord or see you in the next video.